This sign, written in the...
You read Hebrew?
Yes. Why does this word disturb?
The word it's abuse for Muslims. Our community is unfortunately the target of much...
And we're... you.
Well, rub it out.
We can... Look, for today is the Sabbath.
Sabbath?
The Sabbath is the last day of the week when we Jews must stop all domestic activities to devote our attention.
We cannot therefore brush the floors or do any sort of labor.
I would be...
Break them on our behalf. God must brush this earth away with his breath, but it is not good to ask favors of the Almighty for such futile matters. With his breath, but it is not good to ask favors of the Almighty for such...
Good.
The sign on the ground? Two. The Muslims aggravate us so much. We can't let them disturb us on the Sabbath. Oh. That's a difficult in our favor in matters that have set us against. The problem comes mainly from certain cruel and frustrated individuals. Not exploit us. No, the problem comes mainly from certain cruel and frustrated individuals. Not exploit us. No, the problem comes mainly from certain cruel and frustrated individuals.
What if...
Do you...
The rabbi wants God...
The wind is blowing hard today, but up above the rooftops.
And what if we...
You can command the winds, stranger.
Could you lend me...
If you want, but...
I also need the cat.
What are you go...
I cannot command the winds, but I can perhaps trap them.
I don't...
It seems God has answered your prayers.
But I thank God once more for having inspired one of his sons.
How can we
Have you heard of a preacher who and was arrested?
Heard of him? We heard too much of him. He was criticizing.
I have heard that a relic.
You speak the idea that the father of the Hebrews was thus.
Is Abraham not the father of all believers?
He was the father of Isaac. He was the father of the servants of Muhammad by his wisdom, to us and no one else. Abraham's belongs to the chosen people who alone were guided by his wisdom, to us and no one else. Abraham's belongs to the chosen people who alone were guided by his wisdom, to
Will you allow me to?
It would be a. You are entering and name Naaman. This man's story is edifying. Do you wish to hear it? Naaman. This man's story is edifying. Do you wish to hear it?
I would be delighted.
Rabbi Naaman lived in Spain at the end of the 12th, all others. After 4 days and 4 nights of verbal sparring, the king of Aragon declared Rabbi Naaman him to Jerusalem, where only 2 Jews lived at the time, 2 brothers, among 3,000 Jer-Tochav Christians and Muslims. With them he built this synagogue and revived the faith of our forefathers in holy ground. Them he built this synagogue and revived the faith of our forefathers in holy ground. Them he built this synagogue and revived the faith of our forefathers in holy ground.
What exactly is apostasy?
It is when one abandons one faith, my child, who had to choose between conversion and exile or death. In Portugal, who had to choose between conversion and exile.
What does
that to be passed on to all humanity? But those who do not recognize these precepts, the pagans, we call akums, which mean adorers of the stars and planets. Pagans we call akums, which mean adorers of the stars and planets. The synagogue covers the parchment rolls on which the Sefer Torah is written, the law of Moses. In turn covers the parchment rolls on which the Sefer Torah is written, the law of Moses. Here, my friend, 3 times a week and every holy day, the rabbi holds a public reading of the Torah. This is the platform that we call Bima. women during prayer.
What is the value of prayer in the Jewish religion?
It has great, great value. Eternal Lord, for the man who carries Yahweh in his heart, every breath is thanks to the Creator for the gift of life. Every breath is thanks to the Creator for the gift of life. See you soon.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I saw how you stood up to those superstitious babblings.
Are you following me?
Oh,
Are you here to protect me?
why else?
Well, I'm revered by 3 names. I have seen the holy houses that man has built in his name. I've spoken with the gods of his houses, and each one has told me wise and beautiful things for man. I've spoken with the gods of his houses, and each one has told me wise and beautiful.
3 voices serving the one and same word. Do you think that one day...
Is that your Ibrahim's service?
I am above all in God.
I have seen men interpret signs too quickly.
Superstition follows pride and obeys it as a father.
Is that...
Oh, what a terrible word. Guardian angel.
I have seen the...
And what power? Touch the invisible. See that reality is not a matter of appearance. A truth that faith teaches, and which could be a useful principle in all circumstances in our lives. Tell me, has it not happened often that, having searched for something for a long time, you realize it was under your nose from the very beginning?
Very often.
Vanitas vanitatis. All is even a fruit would contain such flavour. Who could guess that even a fruit would contain such...